we are joined by a very interesting man called Dr. Peter Kiare, who will be joining us in a few. You're going to be seeing his face, who is a clinical nutritionist to talk about breastfeeding and complementary feeding for a nursing mother. Now, childbirth is very key and critical to our lives because apart from the first man and woman, the rest of us had to go through that particular process to be able to be alive and kicking at this particular age. And so we're going to be speaking on issues that relate to childbirth, but more specifically on how we take care of our baby nutritionally inside the uterus and then after birth. I'm sure Dr. Kiare will be giving more professional language and jargon that will help you understand what exactly we are talking about. But we're here to talk about exactly that, breastfeeding and complementary feeding for nursing mother. We're going to be looking at a few things around that particular space. And Dr. Kiare joins me today. He's a clinical nutritionist once again from Bellevue Hospital to talk about this particular wonderful topic. Dr. Kiare, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Very fine.
Weather inakupeleka vizuri?
Kuna baridi sana. But tunaangana.
Kabisa.
Yeah, sure.
All right, welcome to this particular conversation.
Thank you.
Let's get straight into it.
Sure.
Breastfeeding is something almost everyone has seen happen from time to time, because you see mothers breastfeeding their babies in the public. It's nothing to be shameful about. It's a wonder. That is nothing to be ashamed about. Where it's something that we have embraced in our societies worldwide, and people seem to know a lot about breastfeeding. People say they know a lot about breastfeeding. As a professional, what do you think people think about breastfeeding and what it is actually?
Thank you for that. In terms of people's view, they think breastfeeding is just a way and just an option of feeding your baby. But that's not the thing. Professionally or medical-wise, breastfeeding is basically feeding your child with milk from your breast. We call breast milk, it's like gold. So you're feeding your baby with gold. You're shaping the future for this baby.
All right, so now let's go deeper now, because you're a professional, and that's why you people are here in our society to help us understand what exactly breastfeeding now is. Let's get into it, and it's gold, as you've mentioned it.
Sure.
Tell us what happens when a baby takes in the gold. What happens to their system, and why is it necessary for those particular first few months of a baby's life to just have that as their meal?
Thank you for that. Well, first I would say the World Health Organization, it promotes and emphasizes on breastfeeding. It really encourages all pregnant mothers who have delivered to do exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive breastfeeding basically means from birth up to 6 months of age. So this breastfeeding comes like a win-win. It's a win-win game for the mother, the baby, and also the community. So it has so many benefits. So if you view from the child's side, you'll find that this child is benefiting from things to do. You can avoid to do things with ear infection, there is obesity, there is allergies, there's so many, there's decompressed immune system. It also helps to improve the baby's IQ system in later childhood. Also helps the baby to gain the right weight. And also it promotes good health for this baby going on from at least those 6 months, from breastfeeding to the 6 months. Breast milk contains all the necessary nutrients that the baby requires. It has proteins, it has fats, it has everything that you might think of giving your baby. So that is why we encourage breastfeeding from birth to 6 months. So away from the baby, apart from those few advantages, there are also advantages, so many advantages to the mother. One of them, it is time saving, in fact, and also money saving. It also encourages a good bond between the baby and the mother. It also promotes loss of weight for this mother, pregnancy weight. Also to do with the hormones, it helps the body to produce the oxytocin hormone that helps the body to come back its normal shape. And also it helps the mother to avoid issues to do with osteoporosis and obesity. So back to the community, you find that this is a well product that has been shaped from 6 months, from birth to 6 months. So coming back to now the 6 months feeding, there's already a child who is ready to feed the real food that you are feeding, but not just anyhowly, but because there is a protocol on how to introduce food to the baby. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
amazing.
that's why we say breastfeeding is like gold. It has so many benefits, and that's why we encourage the breastfeeding. Yes.
All right. When I think about breastfeeding myself, let me talk about myself now. I see, as you have said, I see a mother taking nutrients in form of food.
Yes.
And the body works on that particular, the digestive system and all those other systems work on the food, and that food is transferred to the baby, especially when the baby is inside.
Yes.
And of course, the same happens when the baby is born. The mother now is still the channel for the first 6 months, as you've said, it's still the channel of feeding. The child is now taking gold. What things should the mother eat so as to be able to produce pure gold, if I may call it?
Exactly. Thank you. So now, just to mention something back, for this mother, it helps her to produce the oxytocin hormone. The oxytocin hormone helps the uterus to go back to its pre-pregnancy shape. Yeah. So now to this nutritional side on what the mother is feeding, there are two things we consider. There is quality and quantity. They must go hand in hand. So for the quantity of this breast milk, we encourage on hot liquids. You can do porridge, you can do tea, you can do bone soup, all those liquids as far as they are warm. That is for quantity. Apart from that, nutrition now, the diet, the food you're eating, a well-balanced diet will play the same role. Will help you to produce quality and quantity breast milk. The most important thing is quality. You might produce little amount of breast milk, but of good quality. But if your diet is wrong, you might produce plenty breast milk, but without quality. All right. So the diet plays this role. We encourage a very well-balanced diet during this breastfeeding, a diet that comprises with a starch or a carbohydrate. This just gives you energy. But nowadays, food industries, they have fortified foods with a number of vitamins. So the mother issue is getting some little grams of those specific vitamins through those carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are things to do with chapati, ugari, rice, the githeri in terms of maize, although that is starch. It's an energy-giving meal. If we come to the side of a protein is a bodybuilding meal, and it also gives some little energy. So for the protein side, we encourage both animal protein and the plant protein. The animal protein, we got the meat that is white, red, and also offals. We also encourage on either milk, you can do milk, and also you can take an egg, that's an animal protein. And also for the plant protein, the cereals and the legumes, beans, green grams, lentils, also the black beans, they help to produce enough breast milk.
Oh, I hear that. I hear the black beans.
That one, people, they know it very, very well.
It's called njahe in the common language here in the country.
Yes.
Okay.
So apart from the protein side, we also need vitamins and minerals. So these vitamins and minerals, we are going to get plenty of them from our veggies and our fruits. Unless there is an underlying cause, maybe you had lost a lot of blood, or maybe you have ulcers, there's some vegetables that you'll be told not to take. But if that is not there, you can take all vegetables you can access, be it cabbage, be it spinach, be it sukuma wiki, the African vegetables, any of it. And then for fruits, all of them you can have, be it a citrus fruit or a sweet fruit. Then you're sure you're getting enough vitamins and the minerals. So you can feed a number of times in a day. We say small portions, but frequently. So don't stay hungry. Don't say that I won't eat. I'm suffering from a certain thing. So if you decide to do that, you're also affecting your baby nutrition. Yeah. So take small meals, well-balanced diet that is enough for you. Small portions, but frequently.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know you have dealt with many mothers at Bellevue Hospital where you work as a nutritionist, and there have been more challenges, I believe, above just knowing what to eat and what not to eat. What are the challenges of of a breastfeeding mother? What challenges do they go through?
Sure. So we at Bellevue South Sea Hospital, we do get these challenges. So a challenge with breastfeeding comes, you might find the mother has an engorged breast, there is dry or cracked nipples, there is sore nipples.
You have to go slow on these things.
All right. Sure.
I am a layman, but viewers, most of them are laymen when it comes to medical terms.
Sure.
What's happening? What are you talking about? So that mothers who are nursing now can actually know how to even tackle these problems.
Sure. So these problems, challenges with breastfeeding, they all come on how you attach your child. So if you attach your child wrongly, and then I shall discuss on also the ABCs of breastfeeding. So to sort out these challenges, you have to know about the ABCs of breastfeeding. So these challenges are like the engorged breast. We have cracked nipples or sore nipples. We have mastitis. Mastitis is breast infection. The mother might also be having stress and wondering, am I having enough breast milk? Am I producing enough? Is the baby getting enough? Is the baby satisfied? And that is now where we say breastfeed on demand at any time. That's why you see even here in public, someone is seated just outside and is breastfeeding because it's allowed. Yeah, that is food. You're feeding your baby. There is no shamefulness to that. Yeah, so if you attach your baby wrongly, these challenges will surely come. Okay. And also hygiene will also affect. So if you have a poor hygiene, maybe on breast or something, maybe you might have too much milk that is just flowing when you're not breastfeeding. And the hygiene is poor, of course, when you decide to breastfeed, it will also affect the baby. So you're trying to compress the baby's immune system. And also, so with this, there's this thing we call ABCs of breastfeeding. You have to be, it's like knowing when the baby is ready to breastfeed. Yes.
Talk about that.
So the ABCs, the first one is like being alert, knowing the baby wants to feed. There are those signs that the baby will portray, like trying to reach to your breast, sucking their fingers. They produce a certain sound from the mouth, and then you can now know the baby wants to feed. Some others will cry. So don't wait for your baby to cry. Just feed as frequently as possible. And then you have to be patient. You have to be patient when you're feeding your baby. We encourage at least 10 to 20 minutes of feeding your baby every breast. 10 to 20 minutes, and that's done. Then you can breastfeed maybe after 2 or 3 hours. You can wake your baby up and you breastfeed. And then you have to be comfortable. When you're comfortable when breastfeeding, milk shall flow by itself. But if you're not comfortable and you are having stress, there is no breast milk. So you'll find mothers trying to supplement their babies, complaining, I don't have milk. But these are the small challenges they are facing through. Yeah. So if you sort them out, then you will get your breast milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As we gear and as I move towards the end of this particular conversation, you have an event that is coming up, and I'm glad you've been able to gather around 70 mothers. That's a good milestone to
In fact, it's 80 mothers.
It's 80 mothers already.
Yeah, you have 80 mothers.
To be able to just give them that particular awareness and support that they need in this particular phase. Would you kindly turn to your camera and talk about that and see how we can actually help more women come on board?
Yeah, all right. Thank you for this chance. Yeah, I would like to invite all mothers, either during pregnancy or after delivery, with babies from 1 year up to 5 years of age. They can come to Bellevue South Sea Hospital, and we shall be having a health education day from 9 up to 1 p.m. You'll get education, nursing care, nutrition care, drug interaction, how to massage your babies. All that information shall be there. We need to equip you on good health for these babies. Why do you need to do breastfeeding? How do you do it? How are the attachment methods? What is the nutrition behind this? How do I need to introduce food to my baby? This is complementary feeding, weaning. Because if we do it wrong, later you'll find some challenges with your child. So with the Bellevue Hospital, South Sea Hospital, we are calling unto all mothers who are breastfeeding or with children below 5 years of age to come and join us on 24th and 25th of this month. It will be on a Monday and Tuesday from 9 a.m. up to 1 p.m. Then we shall have this education. Come with your neighbors, come with your friends. Let us get this information on good health and nutrition. Bellevue South Sea Hospital shall also give you some accompaniments here and there. And surprisingly, we shall also be awarding mothers who have been doing exclusive breastfeeding. Also those who have been coming for clinics from 2 years going onwards to 5 years, where there is no vaccine being given, it's only nutritional checkups. So there shall be all that. So we want to welcome all the mothers out there, and also the fathers can come. Let us learn together. Let us take care of our children. Thank you very much.
All right, amazing. This is a question I promised to ask you. I'm just going to give you 1 minute.
All right.
There are those babies who are thrown away by their mothers, unfortunately, and and picked by children's home and well-wishers.
Yes.
These children don't have their biological mothers. What happens to them if because we need to have them as healthy as these other kids?
Sure.
What do we do about them?
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay.
If the child has been thrown away by the mother, or let's say in a circumstance whereby the mother succumbed to death, and we are left, the community has been left with the baby.
Yes.
So we have two options. The first option, we can give cow milk, but this cow milk is not just given anyhow. It has to be well calculated. It has to be well diluted. And it is not encouraged, because most of the mothers outside there who are doing just home-based care of maybe children who are not theirs, they will not be able to do it. And also it comes with strict hygiene. You have to calculate how you are diluting this cow milk to know what is the baby getting in the right grams compared to that breastfeeding baby. So the other option is an option on supplementing the baby. We have baby infant formulas, so many of them. People know them. Things to do with NAN, we have Cow and Gate, we have Liptomil, so many. There are so many supplements outside there. But now every baby can react to a different type of formula. So you just need to know what formula to give your baby.
All right.
So if the mother is not there, they can come to the hospital and we can assess the situation.
Okay.
Then we can decide to supplement these babies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
What more is coming to my mind? Okay, I know my director will give me 1 more minute. There are those well-wishing mothers now in these particular situations who say, I want to suckle this young one, I want to breastfeed this young one, who is not my biological child. What happens in that situation?
We don't really encourage that.
Okay.
That's why we have those options. It's either on cow milk, well diluted, on a nutritional checkup to know what the baby is getting. And there's now that option of these formulas. I tend to find type of those mothers, they get to go to NGOs where they can get these free supplements of milk, and they're taught on how to dilute. And also, just to add on that, you might find maybe the mother is there, but does not have time to breastfeed. The mother is employed in a very strict company. And luckily to say, nowadays some of the companies are having secluded areas whereby the mother can go and breastfeed. That's a very big milestone we've done for our country to these breastfeeding mothers. So for such mothers probably who are going to work, they can express breast milk. And expressing this breast milk is not just expressing and storing it anyhow and feeding. There is how you need to store it if you have a fridge. There is also how you need to warm it. There is also how you need to feed to your baby. Hygiene matters a lot for the expressed breast milk. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming through and having this discussion. I would love to hear your views much later, maybe next week when you talk about high schools, because we've seen unfortunate situations where in a number of high schools, people have died because of food poisoning, suspected cholera outbreak, but it has raised a number of questions about nutrition in high schools especially. And if you went to high school in Kenya, you know that's a topic that never ends. The paraffin, the big huge cabbages and all that, and the unbalanced diet. Maybe that's a conversation we need to have very soon. It's good to have you having this conversation today.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. You want to say something else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Just reminding them to come for the activity.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. So that's Dr. Peter Kiarie, who is clinical nutritionist at Bellevue Hospital, talking to us about this very interesting conversation on breastfeeding and complementary feeding of nursing mothers especially. We take a short break. We'll be right back with amazing stories ahead. And of course, we are continuing to inform you on what's happening in the country and beyond. We'll be back in just for a bit. Don't go anywhere.